Well, couch potatoes, listen up. You know, your afternoon walk may not be doing as much good as everyone thought. A new study says that sitting too long at your desk or hanging out on the sofa, well, it's actually bad for your heart, even if you do exercise regularly. The study says that prolonged sitting cancels out the other time we spend sweating. So they say fidget. Welcome, Dr. Kevin Campbell is a cardiologist and assistant professor at the University of North Carolina School of Medicine. Dr. Campbell, so they're telling us sitting around like you like to do, watching TV, it's not good for us.
It is not good for us. This new study was pretty impressive. 2,000 patients were looked at in terms of their lifestyle, how much they sat around, how much they exercise, and then their cardiovascular health was measured. And what they found was for every 2 hours you sit around, it cancels out that 20-minute burst of activity when you went for a run around the block at lunchtime. So it's really important to move around throughout the day.
So what can you do? Stand up? I mean, look, if I'm sitting watching the Fox News channel, or, you know, you can stand up in your living room, too, right?
Exactly. Get up from your desk. Pace around while you're on a conference call. Take the stairs, the elevator. You know, it's one thing to take the elevator to the 50th floor, but it's another thing to go 3 or 4 floors up and down. And that can make a huge difference in terms of calorie burn.
Is the study showing exactly what happens and how long we should not sit for? Like, what, every 15 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour? What should we do?
The study wasn't designed to look at that specifically, but what we know is the more we sit around, the more we are likely to have obesity and obesity-related illness, because it's kind of a lifestyle choice. And if we exercise and avoid obesity, then we avoid diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, which may lead to some of these heart ills that we see from sitting around more than we should.
You know, another issue is walking. I mean, you drive everywhere, go to the mall and this sort of thing, and sometimes it's just hard to walk. But I would imagine you would encourage people to get out there and walk around the neighborhood.
Everything that you do for physical activity is important. The CDC recommends about 20 minutes of active exercise a day. That's walking around the block, walking in the mall. In New York, it's easy. Even when it's hot like today, we can walk everywhere. In other places in the country, we have to drive. But when you get to your destination, walk. Take the steps.
So what do you think we should do? I mean, if you're sitting, if you're at work all the time, if you have a desk job, if you're behind the counter, you know, where can you go? You can't go anywhere.
I think one of the important points to make from this study is that get up, stretch, walk around a little bit. One thing you can do, you know, the new craze is these treadmill desks. I think you'd have to be pretty well balanced not to back off the thing, but also balance balls like you see at the gym. You could sit on one of those instead of a chair because you have to keep your core tight. And, you know, you'll slim your waistline and burn calories at the same time.
I'm not putting a treadmill up there on my desk, you know, but you can stand. Secretary of State Cyrus Vance, ready for this little tidbit? He didn't have a chair. He stood, apparently, at the State Department, so he must have known something.
Exactly, and that's the great thing about being a surgeon and a cardiologist. I get to stand up to work, so I'm always moving, and so that helps my cardiovascular health.
Great advice. So your advice, prescription for all of us, take a walk, stand up,
and
be
move.
active.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Dr. Kevin Campbell, great to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Janet?
Dr. Campbell, how do things change when you're carrying around a 30-pound bowling ball every day? Do you get extra credit for that?
Exactly. You're burning even more calories because of the fact that you've got another human being with you.
I just wanted to know.
Exactly.
I was just taking into further context. Thank you, doctor. Appreciate it. Nice to have a doctor on set.